Philippa, you were born in Christchurch, New Zealand in 1964, where sea level has climbed 157 millimetres during your lifetime. Martha, you were born in Florida in 1956. Since then, sea level here has risen by 165 millimetres. Stefania, since 1963, the Venice Lagoon has risen around 276 millimetres. Since the beginning of the last century, like a blanket placed over everything, the level of our world ocean has been rising. Ever since we turned to fossil fuels, in fact, our planet's excess warmth has been stored in the ocean, causing thermal expansion. Around the world, sea levels are rising. By now, we're almost all aware of this phenomenon, but the rate of rise differs drastically from place to place. Some locations, like Venice, will be more quickly and clearly impacted. This is the principal focus of Where Once the Waters. The exhibition is formed of two installation artworks. One is a series of 365 seascapes painted onto found antique tins, worked on across 3 years or more, but presented here as the portrait of one single year at sea. Perhaps a future record-breaking year as ocean temperatures rise. The other work is a series of typed letters addressed to individuals around the world, participants in a sea level survey, telling of changes in sea level, offering figures that can be visualized, often because the level of change described can be contained within the sheet of paper the letters typed onto. By how much has the sea risen at the coast nearest your birthplace during your lifetime? Both works aim to come together, to speak to each other, but also to invite the viewer in on their own terms. Knowing what is happening at coastlines we are connected to might allow us to engage with a topic often shrouded in complex science. Maybe by offering accessible data, a globally significant issue could be brought home. These walls are witnesses. Each object has lived through the period that our seas have been rising. The letters are typed onto paperwork, which has accompanied people through their lives. Correspondence, birth certificates, wills, deeds, papers which have been kept and stored, but which have inevitably ended up at a flea market. And that's where I've found them over the last decade. The paintings are upon the seemingly insignificant objects we've lived with. Tins, boxes and containers, small, overlooked items, yet those which were once vital to everyday lives. The modern day equivalent to these would be single-use plastics, things which are rarely kept or reused. Here, I've painted a shifting horizon line, using that division between sea and sky to indicate fluctuations in sea level. By choosing only small metal tins for this series, I want to invite the viewer in to speak personally. This is quiet and individualized environmental commentary. It's also a celebration of the sea that binds all of us, but which is in grave crisis. These are small artworks brought together to tell that bigger story. No action is insignificant. It's the coming together that counts. If we are to combat the climate crisis, working together and storing up these small actions day by day is vital.